Any time of the day is right for coffee. Thank you, coffee. Well, that goes for the winter and the fall. Spring and summer, it's got to switch over to iced coffee at some point. Unfortunately, the only Dunkin' Donuts near me that's a full-serve Dunkin' Donuts is deep within the heart of enemy territory. On the other side of town, about a 20-minute drive. Inside of Liberty University. No knock against the students. Just not my favorite place to go. Anywho, yeah, they added that about a year ago, and they've got weird hours and stuff. But if I need my fix, I know I can get it now in Lynchburg. Otherwise, I got to go to the Hess stations, the gas stations, and they have self-serve, but they don't have iced coffee. And I don't know how to make it the way Dunkin' Donuts knows how to make it. Anywho, I saw something someone posted online today, and I've been trying to stay away from the serious matters lately. It just breeds anger and resentment, and I don't want to do that, but this is something that I wanted to mention, because I thought this is important. Speaking of Liberty University and the United States, I speak on the part of someone who is very anti-organized religion for the most part. There are some out there that do really good for people in their communities with no desire to see anything come back to them. They basically are just doing it to be good folk. So when I say organized religion in general, I don't like it. It's a generalization. It's not specific. It's not. I'm not targeting anyone. I just think it does more bad than good. Now, in Matthew 5:44, like I said, I don't know how much of the Bible I take at face value, how much I believe in it all anymore, but Matthew 5:44, Jesus is quoted saying this: "But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." I don't think he meant us to build up the largest military in the world and to start wars whenever we feel we can benefit from them, or even when we feel like we are trying to be the underdogs. I just don't think that's what he meant by saying love your enemies. I don't... Now, hang on a second. Now, there might be another verse where he says kill your enemies, but I don't think he does. I'm fairly certain he was a dirty, liberal hippie. Yes, right, that's how I feel about Jesus. That's my interpretation of him. When I have read anything about him, nothing I have heard him say leads me to believe he is a war-driven conservative. And I mean that in the best way. Oh my god, these pets. We're going to do a pet video someday. Maybe we'll do a pet show and see who wins, and then the rest just get thrown in the creek. No, I would never do that. I love animals. But any nation that has a military that leads its troops to kill, any leader who gives the command for these troops is doing the opposite of what Jesus said. Now, I wouldn't even bring Jesus into this equation if it wasn't for the fact that the other side always does. The other side always brings up that this is a Christian nation, which it's not. It brings up that, it likes to use the Bible to... How do I say this the right way? Some people just, I feel, have misinterpreted the message of the New Testament terribly, or they just don't want to admit it. But if you look at Jesus as a whole, he's a good role model. He's a good guy. He wanted to help the poor and the starving. He wanted to help those in prison. He wanted to help his enemies and prostitutes and all the people that needed help. Like, he wasn't about fighting at all. When did he raise the sword against anyone? Oh, that's right, he didn't. My point being, I wouldn't normally bring him into this, but the other side always does. The ones that support military actions, the ones that are okay with the deaths of millions of people who aren't their religion. You know, in church you get these same people professing that they want to spread the word of Christianity, and they want to save the world. They want to save all the souls of mankind so that they don't spend eternity in hell, which I don't really know if I believe that anymore. But when a military leader comes on TV and says they're going to send troops into somewhere, or when our current leader tries to keep troops out of going into other places and tries to solve it diplomatically, they're all up in arms. Like, you got to show Russia, you got to show Putin who's boss. You got to make these actions, before this. Russia is becoming a capitalistic society where sanctions will hurt them eventually. And I don't want to ever see boots on the ground, ever. I don't think we need a military as large as we do. Maybe defend our own soil if someone should attempt to attack us, which is never going to happen on a boots on the ground type situation. We do not need a military here in the United States. We are past the point that war is going to come to our soil, unless it comes from within and people rising up. Then, I guess I kind of support that in a way. But nonetheless, my point being is just that, don't twist the words of the man that you claim to love and follow and have accepted as your personal Lord and Savior. Don't twist his words. Don't make him something he's not, because he is not what I see our government calling. I'm so sick of the religion in politics that it literally makes me sick. It brings bile to my mouth. It's wrong. Keep it out of the government. This is not a Christian nation, and issues that affect you on a religious level don't matter. They don't matter in a country where we shouldn't be focusing on religion to base our decisions off of. Like, I understand there are a lot of moral lessons we can learn from many religions, but the fact of the matter is, when you're talking about making laws or amending laws or just changing the way that we live, don't make your decisions. Don't vote based on your religion. Vote based on what's best for the country. And that's what I've always tried to do since I started voting. Unfortunately, I don't think it really matters. I don't think it matters who's in office. But nonetheless, keep your religion out of my politics, and I will keep my peanut butter out of your chocolate. Although that's pretty good. You probably like that too. That's something we could probably agree on. Chocolate and peanut butter go well together. That being said, that's all I have to say about that. War is never good for anybody. Those being killed, or those paying for the war, or the troops that go over there and die. And I'm not just saying going over there like the Middle East. I'm just saying war is dumb. You could argue that it gets shit done, but I disagree. I think there's always a better solution than fighting. And I will take that to the grave. And even if that means getting shot in the face, that's how I feel. So, anywho, take it for what it's worth, and have a great day. I hope I haven't offended or really hurt anybody's feelings by saying any of this, but, as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna believe in the Bible, then, the most important thing about believing in Christianity is Christ and the way he lived, and living your life as close as you can to that. Do I support the Bible as a whole? Absolutely not. Do I believe every word of the Bible, word for word? Absolutely not. However, Jesus was a cool guy. Whether he was the son of a god, or a god even exists, shouldn't even matter. Like, that should not be the most important thing that you're focusing on. The most important thing you should focus on is living your life like the person you have named your religion after, Christianity. Like, love your neighbor, love your enemy, take care of those who can't take care of themselves. Don't tell them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Give them a hand, and then walk with them. That's the Jesus I know. that whole poem, the one, why is there only one set of footprints? What the F, man? Where'd you go? Oh, you idiot. I was carrying you because you were weak. You know, that's what he does. That's what the Bible claims he does. And if you believe that anything other than that about him, you're wrong. Like, this is who he was. He didn't just teach people to fish and leave them alone. He fed them, he clothed them, he walked with them, he made sure they were okay before he walked away. And if he couldn't, then he couldn't. But the fact of the matter is if you're going to call yourself a Christian, then you better be living Christ-like, or you're a liar, and you don't have the right to call yourself that. And that's how I feel about that. So, like I said, take it for what it's worth, and have a great day. I'll see you tonight. We're going to pick up on Genesis, and hopefully we're going to make it up to the Dreamcast tonight, because I got a lot to talk about when it comes to video games. And it'll be a lot lighter than this, and sillier and fun. So, have a great day, and go make somebody smile. I'll talk to you guys later.